What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Shawn Porter, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Get this. Spence versus Crawford. Shawn Porter fought both in names who has are far better ring IQ. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are finally mixing it up. July 29th, and Porter tried and failed to take Spence and Crawford's WBC and WBO straps, and this is what he had to say. He said, Crawford has the higher ring IQ. I fought Errol in 2019. It's 2022. So by far back then, yeah, by far. And that's all he had to say. Let me counterpunch. I think Shawn Porter is one of the toughest fighters in the welterweight division of this era. Even though he might have not came up on the better end of the stick, he gave whoever and anybody in all of his losses, Kell Brook, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford, a run for all their money. Okay? And I think that Shawn Porter knows more than anybody else because he's been in there. He's a fighter himself, and he knows the ins and outs of both fighters. Errol Spence, I think, is the biggest, maybe the toughest, but he says that Terrence Crawford has the higher ring IQ. And I'd have to agree with Shawn Porter because when you're in there with a person that knows how to do certain things at certain times, you know what they're doing. You know that they know what they're doing, and if you look at those two fights, we've seen the difference between going balls to the wall with Errol Spence getting a flash knockdown, okay, in the 11th versus being stopped in the 10th, okay? Now, say what you want about Kenny Porter, and a lot of people criticize Kenny Porter for stopping that fight. A lot of people said that, well, hey, he shouldn't have stopped it. It was premature. But if you notice the second knockdown of how Terrence Crawford delivered to Shawn Porter and how he fell and the way he stumbled to keep his arms stable when he was on his knees, okay? You can tell, and his father could tell, that he wasn't ready to continue. The pride, the ego, the adrenaline was probably there, but he knew his son was nowhere able to continue that fight successfully without adding more insult to injury. That's what fathers do. That's what trainers do. That's what both people do, and he was both people. That's why he did that. And I asked guys, as you guys know, I know Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter told me, I asked him, why did he stop that fight? Because he said he never seen his son in that type of condition, ever. Okay? So, fighting Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, he never seen Shawn Porter that hurt or that affected by a particular fighter in a particular fight. Okay? And he's taking some hard punches from both guys. Like Errol Spence supposed to hit the hardest or the biggest or the toughest or whatever. But he never hurt Shawn Porter like that. And I want you guys to keep that in mind. And I know what people are going to say because of the narrative that's going on. Well, Shawn Porter had kids. That was podcast Shawn Porter. He was not in shape. I think you guys talking about that and talking about the condition Shawn Porter was in was only cheapening the performance of Shawn Porter and his conditioning and his preparation to fight Terrence Crawford. I think he was well. I think he was willing. I think he was able. I think he was very, very competitive in that fight. And a lot of people thought that he was winning that fight. And I seen that fight. That fight was very competitive. And Shawn Porter had some great moments in that fight. So for them to say, oh, that was the podcast Shawn Porter, the Shawn Porter that just been sitting around, you're heavily mistaken. I even heard people say, oh, well, that was he fought Errol Spence before the accident. That only tells me, though, the people that will see Errol Spence fall, okay, July 29th to Terrence Crawford, that will be their go-to. That's what it tells me already. Look, I can read that blind, with my eyes closed. okay, that will be exactly what they'll say. You know what? That wasn't the same Errol Spence, before the wreck as after. He's not the same as before. He was a different Errol Spence after. Even though he took out Ugas and he took out Danny Garcia. Nobody has stopped getting to Danny Garcia, by the way. But then again, that's Danny Garcia, though. Philly fighter. Go figure. But it shows you that as of right now, Shawn Porter has revealed to the world, amongst the best welterweight fight in the last 20 some odd years, or maybe 30 some odd years, that Terrence Crawford has the higher ring IQ. Now, does that mean he's going to win? Who knows? We just got to wait and see. But this is from Shawn Porter himself. You guys tell me what you think about Shawn Porter's decision on who has the better ring IQ. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!